Welcome DIKWP, 小攻 aboard. Your learning journey starts now. Ever felt like you're playing chess against a player who's thinking 3 moves ahead, but you have no idea how they got there? That's the daily grind in high stakes strategy. We need to see inside their heads. So, how do we crack this nut? Not with one AI, but two working together, a dynamic duo. First, the teaching track. This is your classic AI, crunching numbers, applying rules, pure logic. Think of it as the Vulcan in Star Trek, all reason, no emotion. Then, the nurturing track. This is where it gets interesting. It's fed history, culture, even religious narratives, the messy human stuff that drives decisions. This is the Spock who suddenly understands why Kirk is acting irrationally. The magic happens in the fusion engine. It pits these two perspectives against each other, finds the gaps, and synthesizes a prediction. Crucially, it tells you why, giving you that crucial transparency we crave. It's not just what the opponent will do, but why they think it makes sense. Okay, let's peek under the hood. How does this beast actually run? First, you set the stage, define the battlefield, your goals, what you know about the other side. Then, the dual tracks kick in simultaneously. The teaching track spits out a purely rational move based on doctrine and data. The nurturing track churns out predictions based on gut feelings, historical parallels, cultural context. Now, here's the clever part. The fusion engine doesn't just pick one. It compares them. If they agree, great. If they clash, it flags the conflict and weighs the evidence. Maybe the rational choice is defend, but the narrative suggests provoke. The engine decides the likely outcome and explains its reasoning. Finally, it's interactive. You make a move, the system predicts theirs, you adjust, repeat. It's a living simulation, not a static report. Does this actually work in the real world, or is it just fancy tech talk? Let's look at some wins. In military exercises, commanders can simulate the red side's thinking. Blue plans to send troops to the border. The system predicts, based on rules, they might defend. But culturally, they value honor, so expect a strong statement plus a small show of force. Boom, actionable intel. For national security, imagine prepping for tough talks. The system flags their leader has historical baggage over sovereignty. Expect them to dig their heels in on that point. Even for new threats like emerging extremist groups with no track record. The nurturing track uses similar group histories, ideologies, and narratives to predict potential actions like targeting soft infrastructure during a sensitive religious period. It's not crystal ball gazing, it's sophisticated pattern recognition. So, why should you care? Why is this potentially revolutionary? First, explainability. Forget black box AI. You get the why behind every prediction built into the fusion process. Second, adaptability. Whether it's tanks, treaties, or terror plots, the core architecture handles different domains. Third, it's defensible. The unique dual-track fusion is hard to replicate without infringing on the patent, giving you a competitive edge. And finally, future-proof. Asymmetric warfare, hybrid threats, new actors. This system thrives because it leverages both structured knowledge and adaptable narrative understanding, not just past data points. It anticipates the unexpected. The bottom line, this system gives you a powerful tool to anticipate, prepare, and outmaneuver opponents across critical domains. It blends machine precision with human insight. Ready to give it a spin? Contact details are right there. Let's start thinking smarter.